Oh, the game crashed. I knew what was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. Sending close. Right. Let's get my chat set up anyway. Technical difficulties. Right. Let's get my chat set up anyway. Wait for the game to reload. Hopefully it should start showing up in OBS in a minute. Oh, there we go. The game's back. Sometimes when you alt-tab out of the game and come back on, it can cause a Unreal crash where it just closes, which we just happened there. What a great way to start the stream. But it looks like we're good now. So today we're going to be on the Riviera Line. Unfortunately, I did just find a service I wanted to do to start the stream off, but with the game crashing, we're going to need to re-find it. We're going to start on the 802 today. I think we're going to do London Paddington to Paignton. Yeah, I think it was this service that we're going to do to get started. We'll keep dynamic weather on. We'll have dynamic weather on, but we'll randomise it to light clouds. So we may get a mixture of what happens in terms of the driving and the service on there. So I think we're going to take the 802 down into Paignton, and then we'll do a turnaround at Paignton, and then do a 150 service on the way back, and depending on the time we may then pop in a service between Plymouth and Exeter, or vice versa. Maybe even the 220. They're longer services though, so they do take like an hour to complete. For us though, here we are, London to Paddington. This is service 1C70. We're going to try to service from Exeter St David's to Paignton. So we'll get started. I can never use the analog sticks to find what I'm looking for. Get the key in, reverse to neutral, get the doors open. Dim the lights. And while the train's getting set up, let's get our safety systems sorted out as well. So AWS, normal, normal, normal. Should be everything we need.
EPWS and AWS operational.
That's confirming our safety systems are working. We actually have a 166 there. Layering into the route. That's something we could maybe try actually, do a 166 run. I've not really used that since the original Great Western Express, but that's an option as opposed to the 150, depending on what people want to see. For now though, it's a beautiful day here in Exeter St David's. A long train as well. Is this a 9-car variant? Looks like a 9-car variant we've got. Yeah, 9 cars. I didn't think we had the 9-car variant going down into Paignton. I thought it would be a bit too small, but there we go. It's going to be fun then stopping at Dawlish, and I'm assuming we'll probably have Newton Abbot and Torquay as well. We'll get confirmation once we set off of the stops with the passenger announcements with such a long train. Well, not so much Newton Abbot because that's still up for it, but Torquay I imagine would be quite an interesting stop. I assume that is on the way. Right, doors are locked, so we'll put the reverser forward. Brakes coming off. We'll give it some juice.
Welcome aboard this
and we should be moving.
Railway service.
Yep, there we go.
Paignton, We'll be calling at Dawlish, Teignmouth, Newton Abbot, Tor, Torquay and Paynton.
Oh, we have Teignmouth and Tor in there as well. So we actually have quite a few stops. Be very interesting to see how a 9-car variant 802 handles handles places like Tor. We're a very long train today. As we head over the river, slowly out of Exeter. I think we passed the 70 marker, we're just waiting for the rest of the train to get there. And there we go, 75. Give it a little more juice. So this is technically the fast section of the line. The bit between Exeter and Newton Abbot, essentially. And then the Plymouth bit afterwards with the banks is just very hilly, very curvy, very slow, and most of that is run at 60. At a few spots it goes to 70 and 80, but very few and far between. Where this section, especially after Exeter and before Starcross, is where we can really stretch the legs of the trains. We have the 75, and then we go up as we go for Exeter St Thomas, then we go up to a 100-mile-an-hour limit. And obviously we are capable of 125 miles an hour in this train. A little line up there. I'm not sure where that goes. It might be goods line only. That we'll might have to look that up on the map. See where that heads off to. So take the power off as we're pretty much at the 75 speed limit. Here's the marker for the 100. So soon enough we'll get to give it a little bit more gas. So how's everyone's Sunday morning so far? It's a nice day here for September, I give it that. Pretty similar conditions to what we got in game, really. In fact, it might be nicer here. I can't really see any clouds out my window, but I'm sure they are there. So driving in similar conditions. Obviously we do have dynamic weather turned on, so we'll see if the conditions do change along the journey. Make for some interesting driver challenges. Right, let's get the power handle off. Really rocketing through the Devon countryside on the flat here on the coast. So soon enough, before we get to Starcross, we are going to have to throttle down on the train. I believe it's 75 coming into Starcross. We do need to slow anyway. Yeah, you can see the 75 limit just popping up on the mini-map. So we are going to apply a tiny bit brake. This is where the seawall really starts coming in, just here at Starcross. So remember there's a beach here at Starcross as well, if the tide's out at least. Fortunately the tides aren't simulated in TSW, but it is there. And you can see the river estuary and the water. I think they could have done the water looks better than like in some what am I saying? The water looks better in some than in some routes in Transit World, but yeah, it's not the best. I know water graphics can be hard to render, so I think I can forgive him for that, but yeah, there's just something about the water textures that don't look right to me. Especially since so much of the route is this run along the seawall. You think they would have put some effort into getting the best water textures they could do. So we're about 4 miles away now from Dawlish. We're just coming through Starcross, coming up in a minute, just after the next signal. Then we'll have Dawlish Warren, and then eventually Dawlish, which is our first stop of the day. Should have the announcement soon. I think in terms of braking, when we go through Dawlish Warren, we'll then look at bringing us down to get into Dawlish. The issue with the water textures aside, where I think they could look nicer, overall though this is a fantastic route. It's definitely been the route I've driven the most since the release of, at least into early access of Trains World 6. I know if you're on Standard Edition you don't get the game until Tuesday for its official release. But yeah, I pretty much spent all my time on this and then a few runs on the Morristown line, which we streamed on Friday. So we are capable of going up to 80 now, but there's probably no point. You can see the Ferris wheel of Dawlish Warren just in the distance, and that's really where we want to start coming down. We actually do have signals as well, so we may get brought down anyway just due to the signalling. Although that signal, which was red, looks like it has gone green. Hi Levy, nice for you to join us this morning. Start feeding in the brake. So it's a very short hop between Dawlish and Dawlish Warren. It's like literally less than a mile. And you can pretty much see it from when you come around this rock. So a very, very short run between the two. So you have a high-speed train heading the other way. Yeah, you can see there's the town just ahead of us. Ah, okay. So we are going to be a few minutes early.
Dawlish.
Sorry, talking over the announcements there. It cut on just as the announcement came on, just as I was speaking. But yeah, this is Dawlish. We have quite a few stops on this because we have Teignmouth and Newton Abbot, Tor and Torquay on the way. Yeah, I'm good this morning. This is my usual Sunday stream. Obviously we threw in a few extras this week with it being released and we being off Friday. We got to stream the game quite a bit this week, and all them streams are on demand, but this is my normal streaming spot Sunday mornings.
This is Dawlish.
Service to Paynton, calling at Teignmouth, Newton Abbot, Torquay and Paynton. Western Railway service to Exmouth.
I'm surprised we're stopping for a 9-car service. That's how many stops, but here's what it is. We've got a minute wait here. They've done such a nice job with all the stations on this route. Where is all the people? Maybe they're on the 150 that's just pulling in. And that's what we're going to be driving next, is the 150. We're going to take a route back up. So yeah, we're going to take, once we're done, we're going to getting into Paynton. We're then going to turn around and take the 150 back up the line. And the 150 should be a full stopping service. Right, brakes off. You can see the brake pressure coming down to 0. And where are all the people on the live stream? Well, people come and go.
Welcome aboard this Great Western Railway service.
It's early, so
We'll be calling
not
at
everyone's
Newton Abbot, Tor,
awake at the moment.
and Paynton.
Sunday morning, doing stuff for the weekend. Yeah, but if anyone does want some
Station is
easy train driving on a Sunday, it's normally here, most Sundays anyway, unless I have something else on. All streams are on demand anyway, they're all archived on demand, so if anyone did want to watch one and wasn't available for whatever reason, you know, people with busy lives, they can always go back and watch them at their own choosing if they like to do that. But if you are enjoying the stream, don't forget to click the like button. It does just help out the channel and help spread the stream a little bit further, get more eyes on it, maybe get the people to come. So the run between Paynton and Teignmouth is, not Paynton and Teignmouth, Dawlish and Teignmouth is quite quick, really, only a couple of miles. Same with to Newton Abbot as well, I think that's only like 3 miles, so it's going to be a lot of quick stopping now. We've hit Dawlish for the rest of this little run. Just in this curve, the longest little tunnel on the route. And now we're out of that, you do get these smaller tunnels just coming up in between the red rock face. Another part of the line, what it's famous for, is just this coastal running between the rocks. We are ever so slightly speeding, so let's pop on the brake. And just like that, we're a mile away from Teignmouth, so we do need to start bringing it down.
1 mile, 1
But Teignmouth Station is basically just around this next bend. So we come round, this is basically where the estuary is of the river.
We are now approaching Teignmouth.
So we come around this corner, and then the station's literally just the other side of the bridge. You can see the platforms coming in there, so that's probably a little harsh, because we are still slightly fast. Now we're a long train today, as I said we are 9 cars, so... I'm actually surprised the 9-car variant stops at some of these. Because it even says on the stopping board only 4 to 6. So maybe it's a consist bug? There's not a 9...
This is Teignmouth.
There wasn't a 9-car stopping board there.
This is a Great Western Railway service to Paignton.
Also, if you go for the collectibles and stuff, there's a cannon just there at the end of the platform. To be fair, I never really bother doing the collectibles and the walking around bits on the routes, but I know some people enjoy them. So you'll find one. So next up, Newton Abbot in literally a few miles. I think it's only like 3 miles between the two. Then we start, after Newton Abbot, we start the descent basically into Paignton. Right, brake pressure's coming off. Bar pressure is at 0. Let's give it some gas on the power handle.
Welcome aboard this Great Western
And we're
Railway
moving.
service to Paignton. We'll be calling at Newton Abbot, Tor, Torquay and Paignton.
Yep, I can still see you on chat.
The next station is Newton Abbot.
Morning, Waggies. How are you this morning? Okay, maybe it's a little further than I thought. It looks like it's 5 miles, but still, it doesn't take long to get between Teignmouth and Newton Abbot. I can never say that name. This bloody town. Even with the announcements, I still can't pronounce it correctly. I want to say Teignmouth, but it's probably not pronounced that way. So this is like the main road out of town across the river estuary. There's a bridge coming up. And again, this is another one of these fast sections of the line. Not as fast as the bit near Starcross, so we can go up to 100, but we do get up to 90 for a few minutes. It's probably why it feels quite short between Newton Abbot and here, because we can actually put the throttle down a little bit more. I don't have any questions at the moment, I'm just enjoying the ride. And the scenery. I do still find it weird. It's pronounced Teignmouth. Yeah, I'll get there at some point. One thing that still strikes me as confusing on this route is why Newton Abbot Racecourse isn't rendered. It's probably one of the biggest landmarks coming into Newton Abbot because it literally backs onto the route, backs onto the rails. Yeah, it seems like they've not bothered to put the racecourse in. Okay, what's your question? So just here in a minute we should have the racecourse coming up, but it's just not in the game for whatever reason. I don't think it's far past this 60. It really should be the racecourse coming into view should be a stopping marker for the approach to Newton Abbot. How many stops to your next stop? Like, the next stop is literally here. We go over the bridge. This, to the right of us here, where this hedge is, this should be the racecourse. But as I said, the racecourse is just missing. Now we do have this red light ahead, it'll probably come green as we get there. This is just to stop the switch tracks we have.
We are now approaching Newton Abbot.
Yeah, you can see it's just gone to yellow with the marker for changing tracks. Another 802 on the line. And I've enjoyed Morristown so far. I need to do a video on Morristown, probably later on today. I'll try and get that recorded. I kind of like the Arrow, to be fair. It's fun to drive the Arrow. It's like a metro service, is what it reminds me of. Kind of makes me wonder what Dovetail would do. I know they've done the London Underground, but if they did like one of the New York subway routes. It's what the Arrow reminds me of, driving that. The only issue about the Morristown line is my computer doesn't like Hoboken very much. Once we get out of that station though, it's fine on performance, but there's a lot to render around there. And it really does tank the frame rate.
This is Newton Abbot.
Yeah, a few minutes late into Newton Abbot, but get the doors open. My morning's good. One thing I do enjoy is just getting up and streaming on a Sunday morning. Just for a couple of hours, just to pass the time, and especially if you've had something to drink like the night before or something, nice relaxing stream. I've not tried any of the scenarios on any of the routes yet. Stupid alarm. Yeah, I do need to start playing through some of the scenarios. I've not given any of them a try. I've just been playing timetable mode most of the time. So we have 3 more stops on this run. We have Tor, Torquay, and then Paynton. I'm actually surprised we are stopping in Tor. Because I think it's quite a short platform. I didn't think it could handle 9 cars, but I expected this to be more of an express service, to be fair. Right, brakes are off once more. We should be moving. We've not had any temporary speed restrictions or anything go wrong yet, so...
Welcome aboard this Great Western Railway service to Paynton. We'll be calling at Tor, Torquay and Paynton. The next station is Tor.
When we do get to Tor, the stops come very quickly, really. I think there's only a mile between Tor, maybe a mile and a half between Tor and Torquay, and then Paynton's only 2 miles after that. Talking about temporary speed restrictions, one's just popped up on the minimap. How we've not had any yet. How do you find the new features in terms of the random faults and the temporary speed restrictions, everyone? Have you been enjoying them? Do you think it adds a lot to the game? Or do you think it's not been done very well? I was going a little quick. I'm just going to keep us at 40 because we know there's a 40 speed restriction coming up right after this 60 marker. We have had the warning for it, so we may as well just stay at 40 as opposed to speeding up so then come back down. It's the start of the speed restriction. I'm not a console player, so I only have the game on PC. It's fine. The reason why I have issues out of Hoboken is basically I have every layer turned on. On Steam we could download everything. On console you can only download the new content, and the rest of the content isn't coming over until the official release. And I basically, the first thing I changed in the settings, one thing they've added this year is you can choose what layers to have turned on and off. The first thing I did was literally go into the settings and have it set to everything turned on by default. Because of that though, it's rendering a lot of just stationary trains and stuff around the station. As soon as you get out of the yard and through the tunnels, the performance is fine. It's just there's a lot really for it to render at that point. And to be honest, I can accept some janky frames for a couple of minutes just going in and out of the station. It's not the end of the world. I'd rather have some bad frames for like a couple of minutes and the route be alive with traffic than it have like 60 frames per second and it be, you know, but it feels dead. So this is one of the slower bits of the route now we've got off onto the Tor branch. I use a control pad to deploy. I actually do have a rail driver controller, but it doesn't work on all the trains. So it can be a bit temperamental as to what services the rail driver works on and doesn't work on. So I just have a wired Xbox controller, which is what I'm using today. It depends as to what I'm driving, like the 323 will work with the rail driver controller fine, but then services like the 170 just, for whatever reason, don't work. Originally on Friday, before I started streaming, I did try out the 802 and the cross-country Voyager to see if they would work with the rail driver controller, and originally I got them to work, and then when I went to stream, the first stream when I was doing the Riviera stream on Friday, I plugged the controller in and it just wasn't doing anything, so I've just switched to just using the control pad. It's easier for the moment. When I get a chance, I'll try and troubleshoot as to why this train and the Voyager stopped working. Ideally, I'd like every service to work with the rail driver controller, because yeah, having actual throttles, levers is so much better, but it is what it is. It's like when you're playing, say, a flight simulator and you want the control yoke there as opposed to, you know, a control pad or a joystick. Just part of the experience, really. Actually running this section a little slow because we can be up to 45 for the moment. Still got a mile to go. Be interesting to see the stopping at Tor, because I'm sure there shouldn't be a 9-car unit stopping here, but that's what we've got on the timetable. It's a good flight simulator. Because of the way Flight Simulator works and renders its auto-gen and stuff, it's kind of cool being able to like fly over your hometown and see your actual, if you have the photogrammic scenery turned on. If you live in an area that has that, being able to literally see your own house and fly over your own home. Yeah, like, this 9-car unit shouldn't be stopping here. It's going to be like front carriages only for pretty much most people getting off here at Tor. Oh, it does say 5 to 10 on the stop marker, so I guess services this long do stop here.
This is Tor.
So back half of the train's off the platform. But yeah, when you finally get your hands on a Microsoft Flight Simulator, load up with your local area and like just fly around and see if you can spot like your own house and stuff. So we've got a very, very quick short hop now into Torquay. You can literally already see where Torquay is on the mini-map. It's less than a mile.
Welcome aboard this Great Western Railway service to Paignton will be calling at Torquay and Paignton. The next station is Torquay.
So we can go up to 40, there's probably no point. Because we're going to be coming down again literally in like 0.6 of a mile. Although the just the hill is going to speed us up a little bit. There is quite a little bit of a descent between the two.
Torquay.
The passenger announcements are so good. One thing I've found out as well is apparently passenger announcements are working on Manchester Airport Commuter. Not the platform announcements, but if you're driving the trains, if you own Manchester Airport Commuter, have that installed, you will firstly get the Voyager layering in already, and you'll also get the passenger announcements on the 323. Richie Rail found out about it last night. I was watching his stream and he went and tried it, and it's like, oh, passenger announcements work. He was saying that as an ambassador that he's not sure that they should actually be on the route yet, or whether it's updated early. Either way, it's updated and it works if you're on the Manchester Airport commuter route. Stopped a little long there.
This is Torquay.
I'm not sure if the announcements
This is
of...
the Great Western Railway service to Paignton.
I don't know if the Voyager's laying into Birmingham Cross City yet, but it's at least appearing on Manchester Airport Commuter. We might have a look after this, actually, before we jump into the next service to see if the Voyager's appearing on that route. So is the Morristown line then your favourite of the lot so far? I know you mentioned you've been doing the 45 quite a bit, so has that been your favourite route so far of the new stuff that's come into the game? Get the doors locked, I didn't realise I'd gone over there. Brakes off. Pop in some throttle again and we should get moving. Just 2 miles
Welcome
to go.
aboard this Great Western Railway service to Paignton. We'll be calling at Paignton only.
So between here and Paignton there is a little bit of a hill.
The next station is Paignton.
So we start off going uphill, crest the top, and then it's a little bit of a steep descent down into Paignton. As I said, this part of the country is very undulating in terms of the terrain. There's a lot of up and down. we're going to start the climb. It's actually still showing us flat on the map, but we are climbing up. And that's just an error. There we go, it's now displaying the grade. It's pretty much a steep hill as well. It's like nearly 2% this climb out of Torquay, and then pretty much the same down and back into Paynton. You can see basically where the top of the hill crest is, just here, coming up. And then from this part, we'll go over, enjoy the view out the window of the beach and the sea. And now we're over the top of the hill and start our final descent. It's like I'm playing flight sim here, saying final descent, but it's essentially what it is. Get the AWS out the way. I need to remember that the signals may be red coming into Paynton. I almost had that the other day where we nearly spattered, literally. On the Voyager video, actually, right at the end, we get so lucky not to spad, as it was having to switch tracks at this signal just coming up. But I was like, no, it's fine, it's approach and release, it'll go green by the time we get there. And it didn't go green, and I'm like panicking to try and get the brakes on, and literally it gave us the signal to switch tracks because we're switching over to platform 2, I believe, at Paynton, just as we got to the signal. Otherwise we would have literally spattered and it'd been game over. Today though, it looks like it's just giving us a signal straight through the level crossing and into the platform. So just gently let it cruise down the hill, let gravity do the work. Don't need any throttle on at the moment. When we get round this corner, we should be able to see the station signals and the level crossing. As we have a cross-country Voyager going back up the hill. 5-car unit, so maybe that could be like a Manchester one. And here we go around the bend. You can see the station, you can see the level crossing.
We are now approaching Paynton.
The yellow signal ahead. So pretty much just after the signal, when we go over the crossing, we do need to be down to 15, so just a little bit of brake power. Just for that speed restriction. It's just here basically where the junction is where the speed restriction is. It's 15 whether you're crossing the junction or stick going straight. And here we are in Paynton. The 150 service will be taking back up in a moment, in a few minutes time, so we still have at least one more trip, probably 2 more trips really, on the stream today. Not sure why we've got frame issues coming into Paynton, that's a bit unusual. I had this the other day actually on the West Coast Main Line, where literally I went through somewhere and my frame rate just died, and then I had to go into the graphics settings, turn the graphics down, back up, and it was fine. And in terms of performance, I'm not going to bother doing that here because it's the last stop of the day. But yeah, normally the frame rate's alright. It's probably just a glitch. Well, we'll get the passengers unloaded, and that will be the end of this first trip on the line, and we'll be booting up another one in a minute. I'm just going to have a look though and see whether the Voyage is showing up anywhere else. As I said, I know it already shows up in Manchester Airport Commuter, the Voyager. I'm not sure about Birmingham Cross City, so I want to take a look at that and see if it's been updated. This is what we got in terms of the score breakdown, if anyone's interested. Main menu. Right, so firstly, where is it? Right, Manchester Airport Commuter. You go on here now, you can see the Voyagers layering onto the route. And these are the services, so Bristol Temple Means, Bournemouth, Bristol, some depot moves, Bristol. So these services are already in the Manchester Airport commuter route. Also, at least in the 323, announcements are working. I'm not sure if they're working in the Pendolino. But yeah, so that's already set up and working in terms of Train World 6. Let's see, Cross City. I don't know if it's the 170 timetable. So it doesn't look like it's in the Voyages in the 17 in the Cross City timetable yet as a layup. A few things I don't own, but it's not laid into there yet. Do any of the Voyages go into West Coast, into Euston? I don't know if Voyages go into Euston or not. It's not on Great Western Express. Where's West Coast Main Line? Let's have a look. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's on the West Coast Main Line. So it seems like the only other place where the Voyage is currently working is Manchester Airport Commuter. And that has playable services if you're on PC. And also, we're just going to hop into this for a moment. We just do Piccadilly to Crewe, for example. When we, I'm not going to run the service all the way, but when we just start off, we should have the passenger announcements working on this route as well. When it loads. Let's just get started. I'm not going to bother setting up safety systems because we're not driving this properly. Master key on. Unlock. Might just have a couple of minutes here waiting. But yeah, we don't get any on the station. but as soon as we set off, I'm either going to be proved a liar or we're going to get a passenger announcement as a northern service. I said it worked for Ritchie Rail yesterday, because someone told him about it, and it worked with the passenger announcement, so we'll see. I mean, hopefully the announcements and train announcements come to all the previous content and stations. Unfortunately, we do have a wait time before we're cleared to leave the platform. But yeah, 30 seconds. And then we'll see if the train announcements do work. Right, let's hop back into the cab, get the doors locked.
The next station is
Levenshall.
This is a northern service to Crewe.
Looks like it still can't say Levenshulme, but yeah, there you go. Passenger announcements working on Manchester Airport commuter. It pronounced it wrong with the AI voicing they used. It's Levenshulme. It's Levenshulme, not Levenshulme. But yeah. Anyway, we're going to hop out of that. We're not doing any Manchester Airport commuter today. But yeah, so it's already working in some respects on the 323. So if you have the deluxe edition or you have the standard edition, hopefully you should get that on release day. So for us though, we're going back to the Riviera Line when I find it. It's down here. Can do timetable mode. We're going to go in the 150. And I think we'll take this one, 54 minutes, 12:53 service. We'll just have clear weather on at the moment for our second run along the line. So we're probably going to stop around 12:30. It's when we normally stop, so we'll get a chance to do this one. We should have about half an hour, so we should be able to get one more run in if we can find something relatively quick. Unlock the doors. It is interesting to see that already you do have some of the features coming over to older routes though. Would you let me sit down? There we go. The control pad not letting me sit down. Let's get the marker lights on. We're pretty much ready to go as soon as we
For the 1300 Western Railway.
get the green light. Just got a minute or two here to wait before we're dispatched. Because we sat here waiting, the vigilante systems are going off because we're not putting any inputs in to the controls. Right, doors locked. Brakes are releasing. Give us some juice.
The next station is Torquay. This is a Great Western Railway service to...
And we're out the station. So I'm assuming this is going to be all stopping service really, so I imagine we're going to get Torquay, we're going to get Tor, and we're going to get the lot. So we do have this, again, a little bit of a hill to contend with coming out of Paynton. It's probably easier going up than down really, but it's quite a decent little hill, 1.2%. For a train anyway. And again, just a reminder, if you're enjoying the stream, enjoying today's content, make sure to give a like on the stream. Let's get the like count up. Let's more people see the stream, let's more people know what's happening. Also, if you're not subbed, give me a subscribe as well, as it just helps out the channel. And there's a lot of train content, trains and wall content, real world train content on the channel as well, so hopefully you'll find something you enjoy, whether it be gameplay, reviews, or trip vlogs. Hello, is it the train man? I'm looking at my chat window and you can see it's a long name you got there. I think it's the train man anyway. Nice of you to join us today. Join us right at the start of a full run here from Paynton up to exit St David's. I imagine this is going to be an all stopping service as well, being a little commuter run. Whole run is meant to take about 50 minutes. Yeah, I'm playing on Steam. No, the game isn't free. The game is Train Sim World. I think it's about 40 quid for the standard edition, 60 for the deluxe edition, which I'm playing. Standard edition isn't officially released yet. Standard edition doesn't come out till Tuesday. If you buy the deluxe edition, you do get, or at least you were getting early access, I assume you still do if you bought it late. Early access started on Thursday.
We are now approaching Torquay.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
You also get a few little bit extra content with the deluxe edition. or special edition, which is I think was retailing for £100. That includes all the standard, all the new stuff, plus a collection of old content. There are free train simulators out there. I think Run 8 is free if you like American stuff. I've never tried Run 8, but I think that's free. A lot of people who do a lot of the US freight stuff really rate Run 8 as a simulator.
This is Torquay. This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth. The next station is Tor.
We do get the, we could find a good angle of it, that cross-country Voyager in the Deluxe edition. Yeah. I mean, I think you can get the starter edition. Do they do a starter? I think they do a free starter edition, actually.
The next station is Tor. This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth.
But the free starter edition doesn't include anything. I think it just includes the test track and maybe one train. And I'm not even sure if you have to have owned the game previously to get the free starter edition, or whether you can just download it. Other than that, you're probably looking at stuff like Open Rails if you wanted a free train simulator. But then it tells you to pay afterwards. Yeah, I imagine that's the issue. You can probably find Open Rails or something like that. Or if you were not too bothered about graphics, you could maybe even pick up a cheap copy of, like, if you really want to go all the way back, you could probably find a cheap copy of Microsoft I was at Flight Simulator, then Microsoft Train Simulator. Like off eBay or something that someone's vlogging for like a few pounds. If you weren't too bothered about it being graphics or up to date. I wish they would do what they did with Microsoft Flight Simulator with Microsoft Train Simulator.
Approaching Tor.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
I don't think we're ever going to see Microsoft Train Simulator return now, but as I said, never say never, because no one thought we'd ever see Microsoft Flight Simulator again after Microsoft Flight Simulator 10, and that came back. It'd be nice if there was a real challenger to Dovetail. I keep forgetting this train, the 150, has separate throttle and brakes systems.
Service to Exmouth. The next station is Newton Abbot.
And I keep trying to put it into brake and remembering, oh yeah, it's on a different, it's on the other controller, on the other sticks. So used to driving trains with combined throttle and brakes. It's kind of strange being in one that isn't.
The next station is Newton Abbot. This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth.
Yeah, there isn't any Australian content in the game yet. So currently... you have a few places in Europe, France, Germany. We got Portugal coming out this year, US and Canada, and the UK. So currently no Australian stuff, but maybe in the future. Is that where you're from, Trademan? The 150 doesn't like the hills too much. We've got full power down in throttle 7. And we're barely picking up speed climbing out of Tor. I don't know if any train simulators have Australian stuff, actually. I've never looked into it. Maybe Train Sim Classic, someone may have made some Australian stuff. I think your best bet if you did want Australian stuff would probably be Train Sim Classic, because if it's not, if there isn't any Australian routes officially released for it, there's a lot of DLC and stuff. There's a lot of you know, third-party routes and things what people have made. So you may find someone has made some Australian content that way, if that's what you're looking to play. Perhaps though, as I said, they are expanding the countries though. We do have Japan coming this year, we do have Portugal coming this year. So maybe in the future we will get some Australian routes coming through. Be it passenger or freight. I don't really know what the rail scene's like over in Australia, to be honest. Do you have much passenger rail over in Australia, or is it mainly freight stuff? And if you do have passenger, is it like high speed or? What's the Takar line? Yeah, I always forget there's a third exit station in terms of exit central. It's kind of off that branch as we're getting into St David's. Well, train man, unlike, at least you kind of have high speed, I guess. But here in the UK, we can't seem to even build a train line. Our high speed line has been cut short, is thousands over budget. I say thousands, I mean billions over budget. And has pretty much just been a money laundering scam. If you ask me, the construction of High Speed 2. Delayed, spiralling costs. I mean, really, we should have had high-speed rail across the country years ago. We got high-speed 1, but yeah, you can't get high speed 2 will probably never get fully completed. So at least you have high speed rail. Yeah. So it runs through the countryside from Barnstaple to Exeter, utilising the Class 150 and the 158. I like the 158. My only experience with the 158.
We are now approaching Newton Abbot.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
Well, I won't say my own experience with 158, but they use the 158 a lot on the Manchester to Norwich service. Recently they've started putting in the 170s there. I have a video of a 170 trip on that line, and the 170 was not fun. It was very run down, dirty. It was horrible to ride on the 170. Where the 158 is much more, actually in some ways more modern. At least the 158 had USB sockets and power supplies. But yeah, if you've not watched that video, go find it on the channel. The 150 trip. It looks really nice, the East Midlands Railway 150 on the outside. They've got a really nice livery for it, and then you go into it and you're like, what is this train? Like straight out of the early 2000s. Same with us, debt in some operations. However, the Statement of Victoria, which is the PTV network consisting of 16 lines and 2 special event lines. What are special event lines? Brakes are released, throttles on.
The next station is Teignmouth. This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth.
5 of the 16 lines are regional and run by express trains called Line. Okay. Here we have so many different operators. Although currently we are in the process of nationalising a lot of the railways again. And going back to the British Rail days. So maybe they'll all get rebranded at the moment once every rail network's renationalised, but yeah, we've kind of gone through phases when it comes to the British railway system. We've had originally it was built by different competing companies, which is one of the reasons why you know, the British rail network can be such a mess with like different termini and stuff, because they're all built by competing companies. Then they all got nationalised under British Rail. Then they got denationalised and sold off to franchises with different operators. And now we're slowly coming back to like a national rail network again, with nationalisation, which to be honest, I don't think it's going to solve the problems people think it will solve, but yeah, government already have a few operators under government control, and I think they're getting greater angulus by the end of this year, and then a few more services next year. Once they own everything, they may again get rid of the different franchises and stuff and just put everything under a singular banner. So you won't have like Northern or East Midlands or Greater Angular or Great Western, but we'll see. Maybe it just becomes another version of British Rail, or British Rail under a different name. We don't have a line to the airport. It's been delayed for years. Meant to be completed in 2019. They now say it's a long delay, 11 years, in getting the line to the airport. Is the rail system in, are they all private companies then, your operators, or are they government owned? Or is it a bit of both? Like the situation here is in the UK at the moment, where we have some operators privately owned still, we have others which are government owned. Have the nice river tin, I guess it would be pronounced there. What we're running down the side of. We do need to pull out the throttle a little bit. Pop in some train brake. Need to get down to 80 and then 60. Just 60 basically marks the entrance to the town. The AWS warning for the reduction to 60. No, they're not privately owned. Okay, so they're like government owned. I would say nationalisation here was a little bit of a hot topic because yeah, our rail network, depending on the operator, isn't very good. I mean, I live in Northern, we call Northern Territory, they're called Northern Fail for a reason.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
So a lot of our trains are expensive, and yeah, a lot of our trains are expensive, and in terms of the prices, and service really varies depending on where you live in the country. But yeah, costs, they've just increased dramatically. That's why a lot of people were hoping, and that's why nationalisation was such a hot topic. Whether it'll improve services, I have my doubts, but yeah.
This is Teignmouth. This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth. The next station is Dawlish.
We used to have an operator called Connex which ran from 1997 to 2009, but it got done due to a massive heat wave. Many trains got cancelled and there was no compensation, just ice cream and water bottles. That sounds horrendous. Yeah, that sounds horrendous. with that. I remember one time travelling from Manchester to Norwich, and that was in the middle of a heat wave, and literally the train was running late as well. I think there was a signal fail or something, so we were... I mean, it's a long journey anyway. The trip between Manchester to Norwich is
The next
4.5
station
hours.
is Dawlish. This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth.
But it was like an extra, at least an hour and a half, if not two, on top of the normal journey, because we were speed restricted all the way due to signal failure, so we're under temporary speed restrictions. And in some places we were just stopped for a while. It was not fun. I remember getting off the train and I was like, yeah, I just need to drink somewhere. I was dying of the heat. And we didn't even get water that time. Obviously no air conditioning, anything like that. So Metro took over pretty much after that disaster, in terms of the heat wave then. So, this is the fun part of the route, where we get the running along the seawall again. With the red cliffs, which are of Devon. I need to look what makes the cliffs give it that red texture here. Is it like sandstone or something that's being the rock formations in this part of the world? Like what type of rock is in the cliffs here to give it that red tinge? Oh, okay. So you had the different ticketing bits. I'm learning a lot about Australian Rail today. I am also learning we are less than half a mile from Dawlish. It's just the other side of this tunnel, so let's get the brakes on. Start bringing her down a little bit. You can just let it gently roll into the station.
Dawlish. This is a Great Western.
So we do have some lights coming up.
The next station is Dawlish Warren.
I was saying we do have some lights coming up, so it looks. I'm assuming because we're going to be switching track at Dawlish Warren to get into the platform. So do double yellow and a yellow coming up. That way we may just be stuck behind another service, so that'll be fun if we're chasing another service into Exeter. Oops, that's the wrong way. I didn't mean to put the brakes into emergency. Okay, brakes are off. Give it some gas.
The next station is Dawlish Warren. This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth.
So Metcard was basically the final paper ticket. Again, it's a very short hop between Dawlish and Dawlish Warren. Only a mile and a half between the two. Could literally already see the rock. Dawlish Warren's just basically around the corner where that rock is. I assume we're going to be, as I said, be switching tracks to get into the platform. As it kind of opens up into a 4-track section here to allow for passing traffic. We may even get held for a few minutes. Although it's giving us a red on the minimap, so we'll see. Might be something else in the platform. Okay. I would know if you're wrong or not, to be fair. I have no idea. So. Looks like the signals just releases as we got here.
We are now approaching Dawlish Warren.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
I wasn't sure whether that signal was going to release or not, or whether we were going to be stuck behind another service in the platform, but I think it must be one of these approach and release signals guarding the junction. There's no point speeding up too much because we do have to get down to 25 at the junction. So we'll just kind of cruise into the platform.
This is Dawlish.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear about the differences in terms of the system and the history. Yeah, it shows the red train as their profile. I had one the other day when I was doing a video going into painting, and I was like, oh, no, it's just a approach and release signal. We'll get the green as we get there. And then we didn't. And literally, we got so lucky we avoided a spad on that run. Because I was expecting the signal to release, and it just didn't. And literally, it went to yellow and the switch track just as we got to the signal. Otherwise, we would have got a game over, which would have been very embarrassing. Way to end the video. So next stop is Starcross, and we have Marsh Barton, Exeter, St Thomas.
The next station is Starcross. This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth.
And finally, Exeter and St David's. We'll be rejoining the main line in a moment from this little branch. Watch it after if you wish. I'll have a little look later on today. I'm not going to be able to do it straight after. But yeah, I'll have a little look later on. I need to go get my food shopping for work for the week this afternoon and stuff, so probably end up going to the gym, doing that, or going for a run. Maybe a run, because I didn't do one yesterday. And I'm getting food shopping. Right, give it some more gas. That's why we only normally stream for a couple of hours on Sunday morning, as we do have stuff to do, and unfortunately shops close early on Sunday. All the supermarkets close at 4, so they're always open late as well. Short working hours we have here. I tried to give you the link, but the live chat somehow removed it. I think it auto moderates, maybe, I don't know. So it may have just auto moderated and removed it. It should hopefully be on the archive on YouTube, so I'll check there once we're done. I'm assuming because it's posted a link, it just auto-moderated it and removed it. I don't know how to fix that, to be honest. We'll learn as we go. So when we get into Exeter St David's, I'll see how much time we have in terms of whether we can get another run in or not. Unfortunately, a lot of the runs on this route are quite long, up to an hour, so I'll have to see what we have time to do. If not, I may jump onto a different route and just do a quick hop on one of them to finish the stream, as I don't think I'm going to have a chance to do another hour run today. If you can't find it, just search tail set. I need to brake because completely wasn't paying attention then to where we were. Coming into Starcross a little hot, but coming in a little hot there than what I'd like, but we got down. We didn't run the station through.
This is Starcross.
Again, I'll just give everyone a shout out if you're watching the stream to make sure you click the like button. It just helps get the stream out a little bit. Also, if you're not subbed, consider subscribing as well, as you'll find lots of content on the channel in terms of gameplay, reviews, and live videos. So hopefully you'll find something that you like there on it. And again, I tend to stream most Sunday mornings around this time, so unless there's something on, because I do sometimes do runs and stuff on Sundays, but the majority of the time you'll find me here most Sundays as well. Right, let's get the brakes off. Oh, so we're not stopping at Marsh Barton. I always said Barton Marsh.
The
this
next
time.
station is Exeter St Thomas. This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth.
I don't know why we're not stopping at Marsh Barton. We're just going straight through. It's a bit weird. You'd expect us to be, considering we stopped everywhere else, to be stopping at every station, but... So we got a straight run through to Exeter St Thomas now, so... And this is probably the fastest bit of the route between here. This is where, if we were on a train that's capable of doing it, I don't think this is, be able to get up to 100 miles an hour. Yeah, our max speed on the 150 is 75, so we're not going to be able to... We should at least be able to max out the speed for most of this run when we get there. We are on full throttle. Just search Tailset with the old red train as the profile picture. If you go to a playlist, it'll show many different videos of information. This channel started in December 06, so he's been running the channel for a long time then. In the early days of YouTube. I imagine he has quite a collection of videos and information videos if he's been running a channel for, what, 19 years? Give the warning. We're slowly getting up to our max speed, 75, crawling up. One thing with diesels is it does take a while for them to get up to speed. The acceleration isn't as good as the electrics. Can anyone recommend a short service, about 20 minutes? In the chat, is there anything particularly you'd like to see that we can consider just popping in for one last little run today? Potentially we might be able to find a depot move or something that's quite short. Ah, okay. So that's how his channel developed. Yeah, I'm sure we can maybe find a empty stock move or something. You're not sure of any lines in the game? No, that's fine. I'll have a look through the timetable, see if I can find something that's about 15 to 20 minutes, just to finish off the stream. As I said, we're nearly here now. We get to Exeter St Thomas and it's only a few minutes after that. I just realised our top speed's meant to be 75 and we're a little faster than that at the moment. We're at 85. Let's bring it back down to 75, what should be our safe top line speed. I was reading the chat, not looking at my speeds. do a yellow just coming up on the approach to Exeter St David's. The other stock you see on the line, that's all AI. All NPCs. I imagine it would be a bit of a mess if it was online, to be fair. Double yellow. This is Marsh Barton just coming up. Which I'm actually, as I said, I'm surprised we're not stopping here, as we pretty much stopped at every other station along the line. But we are running through this one. I'll have a look at the Voyager timetable, because we've not run the Voyager yet today, and see if I can find a run out of a depot or something just to quickly finish off the stream. So just a mile to go. Yep. Lots of AWS in this little room with the lights. I need to see where that little line to the right, to the...
Approaching Exeter St Thomas.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take
So I need to see...
care when stepping down from the train.
Talking over the announcements. I need to see where that little light to the side of us goes. Line to the side of us just there. Outside of Exeter St David's. I'm kind of curious to see. I'll have a look in Google Maps later to see where that leads. So we are going to be held here coming into Exeter, unless the light changes while we're stopped.
This is Exeter St Thomas.
Have a little look.
This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth. The next station is Exeter St David's.
Okay, so we're crossing the track there. What are you? You're a Barnstaple. Stop signal. Where are we awaiting services to leave? Yeah, we must have been waiting for traffic. It's gone yellow now. There's some of the movements up at the main station.
The next station is Exeter St David's. This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth.
So we can proceed with caution at least through to the next signal. I imagine we're going to be stopped for a few minutes if we're not expected there till 47. Ideally, we'd like to get to the signal just as it goes yellow and allows us to go through. So I'm just kind of crawling it along a little bit. How long have I been playing? I've been playing these games for years. I remember when the original Intercity Classic, the original Riviera Line came out. That was like one of the first routes that I bought, so that must have been like 2012, 2013, when the Trainsin Classic version of this route came out. That's what we want. So literally we got here, it gave us the release into the platform.
We are now approaching Exeter St David's.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from
There was another service in the platform on the mini-map, so we probably were just waiting for that to leave. We have to do a sort of crossover. But yeah, the original line for Trainsin Classic just includes St David's to Payton. It didn't include the whole Plymouth branch on the South Devon main line. So not only do we have the line now with better graphics, we also have technically an extended version of it. So here we are pulling into Exeter. Service would continue to, I think this was going to Exmouth. For us though, this is where we're going to be hopping out and ending this run. I'll see what I can find in terms of short runs today, for like another 15 minutes or so. If I can find any. If not, I may do something quick on another line. To get us to a stop.
Exeter St David's. This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth. The next station is Exeter Central.
It's just because we had signals coming into Exeter. Normally, it'll give you an AWS warning if sometimes with speed changes, other times if the lights are double yellow, yellow, or red, you'll get a AWS warning. Obviously, if you looked on the minimap, when we had a look, there was a service in this platform, so that's why it slowed us down, and that's why there's so many alerts. Oh, we got a platinum medal for that. Right, let's have a look. Main menu. What we can do just to finish off. Riviera. Let's see. Do a Class 66 run. I was actually just kind of curious to see what the freights are like. Bungalow to Exeter Riverside Yard, Part 1, Part 2. Riverside Yard to Bungalow. So there's a few freight services on there. They're way too long. Is there anything like 10 minutes? 15 minutes? These depot moves, but we'll split in two. We could maybe do one of them quickly. Hi, thanks for the sub. You are joining us right at the end, but if you are watching, but all the streams are on demand anyway. So if you are just joining us, you will be able to catch up. Anything short on the 150? We could do a part 1 of something. I don't really want to do a part 1. That's Manchester Airport commuter done. I think what we'll do is, if I can find it. There it is. Just to finish off, we can do a Manchester Piccadilly to Hazel Grove just in the 323. That'll take about 15 minutes and then I'll have to end the stream. What's the shortest route you've ever done? It depends. Oh, actually no, we'll do Hazel Grove to Manchester Piccadilly. This would be a service I'd probably use to get to work. So potentially you may have the Voyager layer onto this, because it, as I was saying before, it does now layer into the Manchester Airport commuter route. So we may see the Voyager as AI traffic. But yeah, we've had 2 good runs today on the Riviera Line. So just something short to finish off. And see if we get any AI traffic. I don't remember where my safety systems are. Where are they? Oh, they're here. Alright, get the doors open. So as I was saying before, the passenger announcement should now be working for this, so we should have passenger announcements as we start going. I did jump into Manchester Piccadilly earlier, and we had the announcements. Unfortunately, we don't have any passenger, platform announcements yet in the route. We're also on the wrong platform, we should be over there. Local stopping services normally come into platform 4 at Stockport, which is that platform where that 323 is just leaving. So you'll be stopped here for a minute while we just let that out. And you can see that moving off the crew service. We may actually be express here through to Manchester Piccadilly, I'm not sure. If we're on this platform, if we're on platform 3, potentially we are going to be going express. Get the doors locked. Give it some power. Yeah, we are going express.
The next station is Manchester Piccadilly. This is a Northern service to Manchester Piccadilly.
So yeah, we have the announcements on this as well. I was correct, we are going the express line, so very quick run. Hello, thanks for joining us. You are joining us right at the end of the stream, but it's nice for you to join us and jump into chat. It's a good view over Stockport Viaduct. If you are joining us for the first time, do give us a sub and like the stream. We do regularly stream at, on Sunday mornings. Manchester what? Piccadilly. This is my local line. So the station where I live, the closest station to where I live, is just along this little bit section. It's not the first station. The first station's Heaton Chapel. Then we have Levenshulme, which is where I live. And that's my local station. But really, jumping into here is just to show that the train announcements are working. We're going to get a selection of 323s. Stopped here at Hazel Grove. Heaton Chapel rather. We're express free. Well, just as we're getting towards the end of the stream now, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that's joined in today. We've had quite a lot of viewers today, more than usual. And I know a few of you have mentioned that you've subbed to the channel as well. Had quite a lot of fun being on the Riviera Line. and doing a few runs on that. We got a good run on the 802, we got a good run on the 150, and a little bit of bonus here just on the 323, doing some electric running. But yeah, no, it's been a nice stream today. Yeah, this is the slow line on the right and left, and we're on the express lines. This is Levenshulme, which I mentioned, which is my local station. I'm just running through now. But yeah, it's this is one of pretty much the main line coming into Manchester, so it's like it's 4-tracked. Just coming up here is the junction that leads to the airport, which is why we got the 75. You can see it. We hop out the cab for a minute. Just joining the main line here, so you could also, if you have this route, run that line up to the airport. And now we just have a quick run, which will hopefully be green, into Piccadilly. Oh, interesting, temporary speed restrictions are working. You've got a 40. So it looks like Manchester Airport commuters have already been fully updated to the with the new features for Trades for World 6. As we have, you see here, notification for 40 just coming into the station in the temporary speed restriction. It's interesting that it's already been fully updated. We are going to get a little bit of AWS going on as we go through Hardwick. Let's get down to this 40. Alan Thompson Simulations have done a really good job in getting this like already updated fully, this route. I'm assuming the 323 hasn't been updated to have the train faults working yet. Whether it does get an update, I don't know, but the fact we already have at least passenger announcements and temporary speed restrictions working. And officially, as I said, the game's still technically early access till Tuesday. But we already have the new features along with the Voyager. Is quite interesting. We do also have a red light just here. We're probably waiting for this Pendolino to go. Oh, we have been given a yellow now. We're probably waiting for that Pendolino to go out the station. But yeah, in a minute we should get another passenger announcement as well.
We are now approaching Manchester Piccadilly.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
I know the voices aren't licensed, but they do. They've done a really good job of making them sound like the actual proper announcements. Oh, should be on 15. It's a switching track. Well, this is just a nice little way just to finish off the stream today. Again, as we get here into Manchester Piccadilly, a big thank you for everyone who's joined here. Maybe you're joining us for the first time. Sunday we do regular stream. We normally start about 10 o'clock UK time, run for about just over 2 hours. I mean, today we started just after 10 and it's now 12 past 10, so we've been doing it, going for about 12 hours, 5 minutes. But yeah, it's been a good stream. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I've enjoyed my time this morning. and hopefully I'll see you all again next week as we crawl here into Manchester Piccadilly for our final stop of the day. Right, let's get the doors unlocked. Have a look outside, see if we can see any voyages. Now, we've only got the Pendolino in at the moment, but as I said, it is layering onto this route. None in on the platform. We do get a platinum medal though, so as I said, I hope you've all enjoyed the stream. I'll be back again next Sunday. I will have a few videos coming out as well. Hoping to get a Morristown Line video done today at some point. Hopefully released today. If not, that'll be tomorrow. We'll have a few other gameplay videos throughout the week as well. Remember what I recommended? Yeah, I have it all saved in the chat history anyway, so I'll be able to find it. Tail set, wasn't it? Yeah, so I'll be able to find that later. And that guy's channel.